The whales, this is really scary. They didn't expect to do that. Is this really an act of betrayal? We can't do anything without the whales, but we don't pay enough attention to a very important issue. What's the story? Okay, let me explain. Nota bene, there was a very bad event today that has shook the Shiba Inu neighborhood. Since Shiba Inu's price keeps going down, people have been worried for a while now. People who own and support the coin have been having a tough time as the value has been going down. Today's events have made things even worse. The community's worry has turned into anger and fear. It's been a long time since many people hoped for a recovery or at least some security. Today's event has made those hopes even stronger. What did really happen, though? As some say, another day, another twist, when it comes to Shiba Inu. This phrase says it all about the ongoing fight for the neighborhood. The bad news for today began with something that at first glance looked interesting. Shiba Inu's on-chain behavior showed that whales were moving a lot more. And the block says that whales have moved more than 1.62 trillion Shiba Inu tokens in the last 24 hours alone. This went from being worth $4 million to $22 million. When that much money is going around, it gets people's attention. This kind of action by whales or big buyers can make the market shake. These deals aren't small. They have the power to change prices in either a good or bad way. Some people may see this kind of action as a sign of life, but for others, it makes them wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. The sheer number of them makes it clear that something big is going on, and you can't ignore it. 58 deals worth at least $100,000 have been made in the last day, moving a total of a lot of money. It looks like each deal was worth about 27 billion Shiba Inu, which is a little more than $380,000. In Shiba Inu, that's almost 4 times the average size of a big deal. But there was a catch. These tokens were mostly moving in one way. Another important metric is the big holders' net flow, which shows how much Shiba Inu was coming into and going out of their wallets. This metric shows a worrying trend. It fell sharply from 176 billion Shiba Inu to a shocking -200 billion Shiba Inu in the last 24 hours. More tokens were leaving whale wallets than were coming in. It's not really a reason to celebrate in this case. This change, on the other hand, makes me more afraid. If this many whales are leaving, it means that people are losing faith in the group. This is not a good sign at all. Instead of seeing this as a good thing, it's clear that things are getting worse. We can see what the real problem is when we look deeper. 74% more Shiba Inu is leaving whale addresses than coming in, while 43% less is coming in. This makes it very clear that the whales aren't just moving tokens around. They're getting rid of them, not adding to their collections. But why is this taking place? Have they had enough now? Well, recently there have been a lot of worries online about the huge number of Shiba Inu pieces that are out there. There are many people who think the team isn't doing enough to fix this. One user even tweeted at the Shiba Inu developers, "Supply is the biggest problem for us. Guys, do something. This anger is rising, and it looks like the whales are reacting by moving closer together, which makes things even worse. Also, you should know that the argument about how many Shiba Inus there are is not new at all. Since the very beginning of Shiba Inu, people have been talking about this problem. It's always been talked about because there are so many tokens out there that it's hard for the price to go up by a lot. This is something the development team has tried to fix over the years. They've started projects like Shibarium to help lower the supply, and they just recently added automatic burns to get rid of tokens and lower the supply. Even with all of these efforts, the results haven't been as good as people had thought. Even though these tactics are based on good ideas, they haven't really brought about the change that people want to see. In business, this kind of thing happens all the time. For example, Tesla was once met with a lot of doubt when it kept missing production goals. People didn't believe the company could really keep its claims. The company has become one of the biggest in the world after some time of bad luck. So even though it may seem like the current attempts to lower the supply aren't working, it's possible that we're only seeing the big picture. Big changes take time, and this project is no different. The real problem might be that we're not giving these plans enough room to work out in the long run. As time goes on, the outcomes may look very different if we see them in a bigger picture. People might have a different view of what's going on now if they look at it in the long run. But Lucy, a member of the Shiba Inu development team, shared an important message in response to the growing worry and the tweet that went popular in the community. She was answering an old user who had asked the writers to do something about the Shiba Inu supply. Lucy said that the developers can't change the Shiba Inu supply because the keys were burned by Roshi, the mystery person who made Shiba Inu. In other words, no one is in charge of the supply longer. Roshi disappeared from social media in May 2022, just like Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. This meant that no one could change how Shiba Inu worked. Lucy also said that someone has to buy and burn Shiba Inus in order to cut down on the supply, which costs money. This brings up an interesting point. The people in the community are angry and want the team to do something. Lucy's answer shows that the market now has the power to lower supply. The developers can't just turn it off or fix it. This brings up some more important questions. If buying and burning is so linked to lowering the supply, does that mean that the future of the Shiba Inu depends on community-led efforts and investments more than many people thought? It also brings attention to the bigger problem of how to balance supply and demand in a project like this that is not controlled. In cryptocurrency, Lucy's answer is a reminder of the things that no one can control. This may be why the burn tactics haven't worked out yet, but it might be too soon to say what's right or wrong. As was already said, maybe it's all about the long game. Once more people understand that these activities cost time and money, the bigger picture will look different. Lucy also told us an exciting part of the plan that could make Shiba Inu burns much stronger. We need a lot of users, maybe even billions, to really cut down on the supply. The goal is to make a huge system that gets a lot of people to use Sharium every day. Over time, Shiba Inu will become more important as more people use it. This shows the bigger picture for Shiba Inu's future. It's not enough to just cut down on supply through small, isolated fires. Instead, we need to build a healthy environment that burns Shiba Inu naturally as it grows. It's a big idea, but it makes sense. If Sharium becomes a big hit and millions of people use it every day, the burn rate could go up a lot, and the supply problem might go away on its own over time. But this is not an easy job. It is not easy to make a system that billions of people can use, and it could take years to really get there. But if they succeed, it could change the value of Shiba Inus in a way that slow burns by hand could never do. We see a complex but interesting picture when we put all of this information together. On the one hand, it's easy to see why the community is upset. A lot of big whales are selling off, and the current burn plans aren't working. What Lucy said about the team's long-term goals, on the other hand, shows that they are thinking big. They think that the real answer is to get a lot of people to use it, not just try to artificially lower the supply. But what do you think about that? Leave a comment below. I look forward to reading your thoughts. Click on one of the movies on the screen if you want to learn more. This video has now come to an end. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please like it and leave a review below. This really helps me understand how YouTube works. Also, please let as many people know about this video as you can. Let people know about this news.